And I'm gonna shut the poo-poo up, and y'all start whenever. And go.
Are we starting on Anubis first?
Yes, it
Okay.
is our map pool: Anubis, Numbani, Ilios, Rialto, with a tiebreaker of Li Zhang, and hopefully we don't need map 6, because if we need map 6, God help us.
So I'm assuming we're just going to see pretty standard goats from both teams on Anubis.
Is this really your opening to the stream? Like you're just casual conversation? You're not even like, good evening, Chad. Today we have.
Good.
You're not going to do anything
Oh
like
my
that.
God! He already disconnected.
Okay.
Scuff
Well
stream.
done.
Well, at least he got it out of the way now. Okay, I'm gonna shut the poo-poo up, and then one of you need to introduce the stream correctly. All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
That's all you. That's all you.
Talking to me?
Yeah, that's all you.
Okay. 2 seconds, then we'll go. Good afternoon. We are now on round 2 of Watchpoint Alpha. I am Illusory Kitty, and here I have Wiggles with me. And
Hello.
We now have Antumbra versus Junkertown Jules, and we have a classic koala disconnect right at the start.
I did remind both teams that if we do need to pause, Alt F4 is the proper way to pause. So maybe Koala's just practicing Alt F4, making sure it works. But
That is quite possible.
our first map is Temple of Anubis, and I'm interested to see what Antumbra runs because they are a new-ish team. So they have 3 people: Mender, Wolfson, Dart, and Koala. So 4 who have been kind of playing together for a while, and then Saint and Boosted. I guess they picked them up when their off tank and off tank and main tank both left. So I'm interested to see how well they're going to mesh together because I think this is the first time that they've actually been in a competitive setting to where it's not just a scrim. There's a lot more riding on this. So I'm interested to see how they're going to cope with going up against Junkertown, who they're an established team. They've been together for a while. They scrim regularly. So I really am interested to see how this plays out. I think we'll see a bunch of goats from both teams because it's goats. It's really easy to play and kind of hard to mess up.
However, yesterday, Junkertown Jules was running the solo tank triple DPS, so we might see that again to try to break up Antumbra's goats.
I mean, if we do, I do fear for Antumbra's goats because I've seen just how punishing triple DPS can be on goats if it's not executed perfectly.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, apparently there's something banging my trash can right now.
Same.
But I'm interested to see it because I do believe that triple DPS can just wreck goats, and as goats, your hope is just kind of hold your Rhine shield up, get a tick before you all die.
It will be interesting to see what happens on Anubis because there is a lot of high ground that if you get to that, goats cannot. So the Widow Hanzo's on those top high grounds, goats will have to do a lot of rotating to try to get to it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then, I mean, second point isn't any better than first point.
Correct.
So we might not see any goats this point, or we might see some Winston goats to try to help out controlling that high ground. I really hope they don't run Rhine goats because that's going to hurt.
Yeah, we have seen some
but
teams.
I think we are ready, so we can jump into the game whenever.
Now,
we have seen some teams run, not for this tournament, but run dive on first point because of all the different high grounds, and then swap to goats for the second point. So we might even see some of that as well.
Right.
We are gonna start off with Antumbra on the defense and Junkertown Jules on the offense, I believe.
And 30 seconds, we get to play the waiting game. Jesus Christ.
You good?
I'm good.
Go get the vacuum.
Clean up the mess. No, that's my beautiful fiance doing dishes, so. See that? Shameless plug.
Does she not like the dishes?
They looked at her weird. They had to be punished.
Okay, so we do see Junkertown Jules running a triple support with dive tanks and a Sombra on defense. While I want to say, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Antumbra's on defense. My bad. Antumbra has the.
Antumbra is playing more of a bunker down comp. Usually, you would like to see the Roadhog in exchange for the Diva, solely because of the synergy between the Orisa and the Roadhog, and you just get to punish people more. But the Diva, I can see try to control the high ground to get everyone off. So here we go. We're gonna start.
We do have Sombra scouting first.
Yeah, and right now they're just making sure that it's nothing that goats can't handle. I assume they're just gonna run this because
they are using the first 15 seconds, I'd say, to see what they have.
See, and Fiery just got seen because she was up top, and now their entire team split. So input name goes down first. I think Junkertown just needs to leave. With your main tank down, you're kind of just feeding.
Yeah, because now have Tentaku out of mech, which is going to be a big stagger.
Yeah, and then if you look over on your left, actually both of your healers, or your Ana and your Sombra, are over here on the left trying to control this Mega Room, but I don't know what good it's going to do you. Your Ana's in a very bad spot, and Koala's actually going up to see her now, so your Ana's just going to get staggered more here. Yeah, see.
And then, do they find the Sombra?
The Sombra's translocator is right on the ground, so Sombra's going to die next, and at this point,
stagger.
If you're Junkertown, you just go back to spawn.
Yeah, Junkertown.
I mean, you wasted 2 minutes just kind of sitting around. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to try to pressure the Hanzo, Orisa, Diva off of that high ground by jumping in, kind of poking at them, whittling them down, because realistically, all they have for healing is their Ana right now, because their Lucio's back with their Ana. So you can bubble that and quickly burn down one target with Defense Matrix and with your shield. So that's how I would like to see this executed, more of a dive. But we'll see if Junkertown Jules decides to do that, or if...
We do have Fiery set up behind them. I assume looking for a hack for everyone to focus on.
Right, and Fiery just got seen, so Koala's doing a very good job. He knows where he needs to stay in order to protect his
Dragon
team.
does come in, Fiery does go down, and sights are out, so Junkertown Jules is seen by everyone. Nano does come out. Let's see, D'Artagnan does go down. Tentaku is looking. Boosted trash. Oh, Bomb does come out.
Bomb coming out.
Gets
It got two. Got a brig, which is the impressive part there. And
However,
with that,
Tofu,
I think we're gonna have to reset here. Oh no, Saint might be dead. They might be able to, if they control this mega room, the two of them together. Nope, there goes Tofu. So input needs to get out now.
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and again, it looked promising there at the beginning, but a big bomb by Koala just kind of saved that push. And I'm interested to see if Brobat's shield was broken or if he just didn't see the bomb in time. Because for a Brig to die to a Diva bomb, that's kind of awkward because she has the shield. So we're coming up on Junkertown's last push, and they haven't even touched the point yet. I don't
also
know.
haven't even really built a ton of bullets.
Right. You're gonna see.
Lucio does go down. We do have the MP, but because everyone is so spread out, it just always seems a little difficult to do.
So here comes the EMP out, but I think
the EMP, however,
I think it's too late. Yeah. So we have Diva. Tentaku's nano boosted, sleeping on point now. Big purple and boosted Tofu.
Does have the bomb to get a remake.
So
Successfully does remake.
Hanzo's nanoed on point now, but input name's back, and
Boosted trash
this
does
fight
go down.
this fight is going Junkertown
Junkertown
Jules'
Jules'
way.
Big beat.
There's
by
a beat.
teams.
There's the counter beat by Wolf, but I think it's too little, too late. You got to think attackers have respawn advantage. You're slowly losing the fight. Minder's at 1 HP, literally. D'Artagnan's at 1. I don't think you have enough healing to make this go around. And you see Boosted now, just on point. He needs to try to get away.
Yeah, trying to stall it out.
Yeah.
Did start
that
off
was-
as a.
I don't know what happened. There was an EMP that came through that really cleaned up that fight for them, but
Objective lost.
by all intents and purposes, that should not have worked that way. And now we're
I
going
know,
to
it looked
see
like
a true
Antumbra was
dive.
going to full hold. However, they have switched to goats.
We've
Antumbra
full
has switched
goats
to
now.
defense.
And there's less high ground for the enemy to control, so I can see why this is a good change. The only issue is now that you're running full goats, your Junkertown Jules just has to build ults. I mean, an EMP is devastating to goats if you catch everyone. Your Zen goes down
Input
to
name
50
does get
health.
taken out by Koala. I think this might be a time for Junkertown Jules to regroup, but if they might get pushed.
I don't think they're going to push out too far just because of the Sombra. You have to.
And especially with the lack of ults, right now Junkertown Jules does have ult advantage with 3 online compared to Antumbra's only 1 because of all the switches they did make.
At the same time, though, look at their ults, and because Goats is so healthy and strong, the EMP and the Nano are the only 2 things that they're really worried about, but it looks like they're just going to get rid of Pulse Bomb because they know it's not going to help very much in this situation. They need to just run full Goats and try to get this
Junkertown
EMP
Jules
off.
is switching, however, they do seem to be keeping the Sombra.
Sombra has EMP, and that's a fight win by itself if you execute it right. So here comes in Koala's bomb. Looks like it splits everybody, but luckily Input backed up in time to block it. Robat does go down.
EMP does
Mender
go
on the other side.
So we are even. Nano does come out for Input name.
Right, and you're looking now.
And
You want to try to keep. Yeah, and this is just cleanup at this point.
Right now Antumbra is just trying to fight for time, only because of just these respawns. However, they might be able to take it back as Input name does go down.
And as long as you keep D'Artagnan up, you're going to have your bomb grab combo in case you need it. Here comes Tentaku's bomb. Doesn't get anybody though. And it does look like
He does get instantly demeched though.
it looks like Antumbra somehow held this without losing a single tick. So that was very good to keep calm and to understand that they could still win that without giving up a tick. And Junkertown put in a bunch of hooks into that. They used Shattered. I think they used Beat. They used Hack at the very beginning. So Junkertown's in a rough place right now because they just don't have the ults to compete with Antumbra's now. So you're gonna have to go into the next 2 fights expecting to lose at this point because ult economy.
Yeah, Junkertown Jules also did make the switch from the Diva to the Zarya to help their Reinhardt. Oh, big grab though. Here we have the grab bomb come. Will it be big? Oh, no one in. However, Arch Emblem does go down. We have a big shatter. Boosted Trash does go down though, as well as Saint. Tofua held down. Big beat comes out. Oh, but the EMP stops all of the beat. This could be Junkertown Jules' fight.
See,
It's
Mender
just a
though.
cleanup, however, respawns are reoccurring.
Yeah, Junkertown Jules allowed that Zen to live just on the edge of the point for that entire time, so they got no progress on the point.
Antumbra does have Rally coming out. However, Junkertown Jules does have Grab come out. Is it enough though? Boosted Trash does go down. Antumbra is coming out with Trans. Oh.
Now you're gonna want to see. Oh, Minder tried to block the pin, but he just missed it by a fraction of an inch. Saint
We
goes
are in overtime. However, Koala's down. Wolfson is down. Another big EMB by Fiery. Boosted Trash does go down. It just seems to be trying to stall it. However, I think Junkertown Jules does have this point.
Respawns will be able to come in, and Saint should be able to touch Yeah, so Wolf is going to be able to stall, but immediately
However,
hack
he
purple,
immediately gets hacked. However, Antumbra does have the grab, so it is a full grab. However, the beat does come out, and the bomb might be a little bit late.
Oh, that was almost smart by Boosted to try to pile drive him above the bomb, but ideally if you're going for that setup, you want to keep the Rhine in there so that you remove the Rhine shield completely.
And this is just cleanup at this point, even though the mines do come out. It's just Wolfson left on point, and that is it. Junkertown Jules does take Anubis, however, they are in overtime.
And I will say that both teams looked comfortable on goats, but again, your major combos just weren't there. I don't think I saw a single grab bomb or really anything. Whenever they threw out the grab, it looked like both teams just didn't have a follow-up plan. They were just like, we're grabbing. Hopefully this works. So hopefully
Antumbra did have a grab bomb, however, just the timing just seemed a little bit off because they were trying to stall the point.
Right. So I think I remember what point that was, but the issue there was they were on the wrecking ball instead of the Rhine, so they couldn't remove the Rhine shield, so it was just easily blocked.
Ready for battle.
And again, that's something that will come with time, knowing that like you need that Reinhardt to remove the Rhine shield for your combo to work. I understand that like it's stressful when you're like 10% left until you lose the game, and you're like, well, we need to get on to point, but in that situation, I don't think switching to Hammond was the correct call. I think staying on your Reinhardt would have been much better overall.
We do have Junkertown Jules with Dive Tank's defense, Mercy Ana with a Doom Sombra, so this could be a lot to help displace the goats, and especially with Rez, if Mercy can get away with Arch Emblem on Mercy can get away with it. Both teams are running Sombra.
Right, you see him just getting to stay up here on the high ground because he can't abuse it and just farm his whole. Those are real big win conditions. Oh, Tentaku.
Boosted Charge does take out Tentaku. However, he does get hacked with a big anti.
And Tentaku
Rez
comes
does.
back up thanks for the res.
However,
Not
he
like
does
it.
get taken down again. Broback does get demeched. They just seem to be, they're rotating the point very well to try to stall it out one at a time. However, it is not enough, as right now we just have 2 supports left on point.
And the issue with running the Doomfist there is without a Zarya or anything really to assist your Doomfist going in, he just gets burnt before he even touches anybody to build those shields. So I don't know if Doomfist is the right call here, and they know it too, so they're switching to full Ana Goats.
Both teams are running Sombras instead of the D.Va, however, Antumbra is coming in with a lot of time and with a lot more ults. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out.
So there's Shatter, EMP,
Trans.
and they're putting all of their eggs in this basket, and Boosted Trash is down now.
However, that is a big EMP by Fiery.
That will.
They do seem, they are holding this point. Both teams did invest a lot of ults. A lot of ults. However, Antumbra has Grav coming up with beat.
Right, and you wanna see Archimp being very, very not aggressive, but you want to see him farming much more with a purpose because he should know that that grab's coming in and he needs to beat to save his team. So right now he's gonna get it just in time.
However, Ender does quickly go down, quickly by Fiery. The grab does come out anyway. However, beat does come out. Koala does go down, Boosted Trash does go down, and this just seems to be another cleanup by Junkertown Jules to defend second point.
Right now on the side of Antumbra, you have your EMP and
I know who's been naughty.
your beat, but what I would like to see is you dry push the next 2 fights, build all 6 ults, because you just need to win one. You need to win one fight. And so if you just sit there and dry push, you have EMP now, 4 out of 6 ults are online. Here comes
Big
the
EMP. Oh, followed by a big shatter. Input name does go down, followed by a beat and a trans.
Saint does execute Tofu though. It looks like Antumbra. Oh, big hack.
Big EMP, all 6 of people on Antumbra, followed by a big slam. I feel like Emon saying this now. Ender does take down 2. Input name does go down. So they do just seem to be stalling for time right now. We do have 2 on point, however, this is just
Now 0 on
extremely,
point.
yeah. This might be full.
At this point, it's
That is it.
That was scary at the beginning when they tranced and beat it. Usually you don't like layering support ults like that, especially when you know the Sombra has that EMP coming out, but it worked out for them in the end.
Initiating match.
Because Junkertown Jules was in overtime, Antumbra will have essentially 4 minutes to get 1 tick.
Now I'm interested to see, Tantaku does come out on the Pharah with the Sombra, so it looks like they're sticking to their guns. No goats. I'm not sure how helpful it's going to be, especially with the Winston and the D.Va. Or no, they don't have a D.Va. Antumbra is opting not to run D.Va, so Tantaku, this is a very scary idea, kid. I'm sure you know when a Pharah is in the air uncontested like that.
Tantaku is going to have the time of his life right now.
I do think that we will see D'Artagnan switch over to D.Va when they recognize that it is Pharah, because you can't just let a Pharah sit in the air like this. I mean, they don't even have an Ana to help poke her down, so with a Mercy Pocket, it's going to be a rough time for Antumbra if they don't make a change.
Unless we do see Mender just starting to get these big right clicks. However, Tantaku is going to be able to output a ton of damage onto them.
And you see Tantaku floating right up at the edge of the skybox because he knows nothing can hurt him up there.
Exactly. However, he does get hacked. Oh, he does go down.
Deleted. An Arch Emblem, I think, is close behind him.
Arch Emblem does want to look for the res, however, I think they are slightly camping his body.
That was a very well executed dive up onto that high ground there.
Input name also goes down. Arch Emblem also goes down. This does seem to be Antumbra's point. Junkertown Heels has no one that can touch it in time.
Victory.
So I was very interested.
Play of the game.
Ooh, is it Nyata play of the game? Something
Mender was.
He did pop off. He had tons of nice shots.
Like that, just the 180, no res for you, Mercy. But I am interested to see how Tantaku got hacked there, because from my understanding, hack should not be able to reach the skybox like that. So Tantaku must have floated just a little too low.
He did seem to be a little bit low. However, having that Sombra is something. Once you're hacked on Pharah, like shooting on the ground is not something you can be used to.
Especially when you get hacked over the enemy team and just drop into them like a gifted present. So the next map we have coming up is...
We are going to... I want to say Numbani? Numbani is correct, okay. Oh, okay. Koala does have his Maply disconnect. So we do have, after first map, Antumbra 1, Junkertown Jules 0. What? We do have an easy Torbot coming in for Antumbra to replace Koala.
I mean, realistically, I think the Easy Torbot is an addition to the team over Koala, if I can say that.
Can we get our map to Anubis? I mean, I'm sorry, not Anubis, Numbani?
If only our elegant cameraman referee was able to
There we go.
switch. There we go. Look at Pingu. He can just do everything. He's a cameraman, a referee, a map changer.
What can't this man do is what I'm wondering.
So historically on Numbani, we have seen a bunch of Winston goats, some Rhine goats for kind of gigs. But on that first point,
We do have in chat ruins for match MVP.
already, wow, good to know. I think you have to actually participate in the game to get MVP, but I could be wrong. So we will see now a swap to both sides of the teams.
So we will have Junkertown.
Junkertown will be attacking first, or defending first. Yes. Sorry.
Well, we have to switch them for that.
Yeah.
Your cue, Pengu. Swap. Oh, there we go.
Now you got to change the names too.
Making him work today.
I don't think I can actually change the names. I don't have that.
Oh yeah, so it's
Okay.
this is actually a bug. If I create the lobby, only I can change the names. So, but I'm not party lead, so it's fine. Junkertown Jules.
It's okay. It'll be Overwatch will fix it in about 3 years. Don't worry. I believe in them.
There's a patch coming through soon.
I do see. I might be flaming the chat. You cast that, but not my OG ants comment. I feel targeted right now.
Sagely Sapphic is also the one spamming Jesus to help the jewels. So I don't know whose side she's on. Who the heck is Ack? Who's Ack?
Who?
Okay, so we do see Koala come in. So we are ready to go whenever. Let's just double check with the teams now.
Ooh, we do have. Bias casters, I see. That's a.
You can't please them all.
Exactly.
So we're both ready. I think Junkertown Jules is just waiting.
Are from
let us
Junkertown
know.
Jules.
Okay, so we're both ready to go into the
Here
game.
we go. Map 2, Numbani.
Traveling to Numbani. Initiating match.
Gotta hit him with the, don't worry, we'll change his names next round because we gotta switch anyways. Tell us a joke, Dan.
Wow.
I don't have any jokes.
I could come up with a joke, but I don't know if I'm allowed to roast
Jillian
that.
has a joke if you want to hear that band. I'm sure it'll be totally good. So, getting started, I do expect to see Winston Goats at some point for both teams, especially for first point.
We do have them saying they are not telling us a joke. However, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to roast them. If I have permission to go all the way, we can do it.
It's true. All right, babe, you're up. They want to hear your joke.
Why can't you hear pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
Hold it. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
5,
I do not know.
3,
Because the P is silent.
attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So rolling out, we do see the Winston goats on both sides. Well, actually, dive on Junkertown Jewel's sides with a Reaper
Sombra.
Sombra. So not a lot of synergy there, but Reaper will be able to punish Winston for jumping in.
And especially without the
outside
Diva
defense, yeah.
are looking. We do have Koala on the Sombra trying to go around to get the hack off before, I assume, before they dive in. Kentucky does, oh, he does not get hacked, however, that does make Koala back off. They are pushing onto the point. Kentucky just seems to be going after this Winston. However, input name does get taken out by D'Artagnan. And Robat does out of, however, Boosted Trash does go down. Robat, as Baby Diva, does go down.
D'Artagnan's hacked, so
Arch Emblem does get res, but we have input name does get taken out with Fiery. Fiery does seem to get out because of the vertical mobility, but that does seem to be a clean take by Antumbra.
Objective lost.
right in that fight happened so fast that the only ults online are an EMP by Fiery and
We are coming
A
up
rally?
on Nano.
so I would like to see Junkertown Jewels recognize that they have the ult advantage and take the fight here at this corner. So yeah, now you kind of just give free cart pressure until the next corner, because especially as games, you want to be fighting around those corners so that you can maximize the bubble and
Huge EMP by Fiery, followed by a Death Blossom. However, it only gets one, but this does seem to be a cleanup by Junkertown Jewels. Wolfson does go down, however, so does Fiery. Input name does get rezzed up, but this does seem to be Junkertown Jewels' fight. They seem to have won. Over Koala is here behind them, just looking.
Where does it hurt? Damage to engage.
Antumbra does have all 6 ults coming online, so we're gonna probably see some combos. 2 ults being used. Input name does get taken out in the Graviton Surge. Tentaku does get taken down. Robat does come out with the bomb. Gets nobody. However, he just seems to be trying to get out right now.
Right, and this is cleanup at this point. I would expect maybe a last minute contest by Junkertown Jewels, but I wouldn't put all of my eggs in that basket.
If they're able to reset, they will be able to recontest. However, Antumbra wants to keep on pushing them. They do not want to have another fight for this point.
Right, and here comes input now.
Can we? Oh,
They need to leave.
need to play this corner.
A little hesitation, and nobody is on the card for pushing.
Tentaku does get taken down again. Even though Reaper has that 50% lifesteal, if he cannot do the damage, he is not taking any value.
Heroes never die.
Right, and historically, what I've noticed has been happening is Tentaku is going in out the rest of his team there, whereas as a Reaper, if he's sitting right next to his Rhine, helping people.
I also used to Trash putting a lot of pressure where he can jump in alone, get the Zarya bubble, and essentially just come out alive because they all try to focus him in the back. We do do have some trades coming on, however, Antumbra does have the advantage. Now they are just trying to stall for this point.
Rally comes out, just curious, but nobody from Junkertown can even get close.
Complete.
And Antumbra does take
Score.
Numbani relatively easily in my perspective. They just kind of kept up the pressure in Junkertown Jules, which was not able to regroup for a full fight.
Initiating.
We do have a disconnect from somebody. I'm gonna put money on Koala.
I will put money there as well. Oh, he is.
Koala says he's here. So
Well, we just lost money.
not sure why we're paused.
I think it was him. That's why he's saying he's here in R.
Oh. So it was Koala who did his halftime disconnect, reset his ping again. Keep trying to blame it on the ping, but eventually you got to realize the common denominator there.
Chat does seem to be more focused on ice cream than the actual game, it seems, as they're talking about. Let's see what was
Ice cream. Talking about chocolate ice cream.
Vaguely does seem to be having ice cream, chocolate with brownie bits in it, chocolate sauce, caramel sauce, cookie dough, and whipped cream on top.
That sounds like diabetes. So from Antumbra, we're seeing that this tried and true method or comp that's been working for them, which is the Sombra Winston Goat variant. On the other side, we're still sticking to the dive, but this time with a Sombra tracer. So properly executed dives on this map can be punishing, especially without the diva to help your Winston peel.
However, the tracer on this map has to use a lot of their blinks to go around to get to the high ground. So
that is a trade-off, but I do see them compositionally, they can win this. If they get boosted to jump onto them at any point, that will be their goal. The trigger for them to go. Fiery does take down Koala.
Locking down the objective.
Now we now have a debate right here where it's, do we contest a point or do we have to attack first? And we have dropped down to point. However, Impavane might go down. Impavane does go down, as well as Tofu of Hell.
Yeah, and that will just quickly make Brobat and Arc Emblem just get out of there, because once your Winston goes down, that's game. We have seen a lot of high-value purples come out from Tofu. Their boosted actually got purpled, and he got very low. Sadly, Junkertown was not able to translate that into a kill, but keep trying, and eventually they will crack this defense. Antumbra has been playing this very almost perfectly in regards to not pushing the objective when they were split and they had to make a choice. They all made the same choice and they all moved together as one. So
Junkertown Jules does need to force them onto the low ground, because everyone on high ground like this does not provide as much value, considering their Ana cannot get up there. As you see, they have to do massive kills for their Ana, and it's just right now. Basically has 3 people trying to get to him.
but that's what you wanted to do. That's how you want to try to crack this, because nobody but boosted on Antumbra has that mobility. So you want to bait boosted into jumping onto your Ana and then hack him, jump on him. You just want to delete him from the game, and then that will just open up so many possibilities for you. But for some unknown reason, the Ana was allowed to live for far too long, and Boosted wasn't punished for jumping in alone, especially against a dive that has that Diva and the Winston. It just looks like Junkertown needs to just iron that out. And Saint going down to Fiery and Koala going down. This
is a huge advantage for Junkertown Jules.
Antumbra may just have to give up a tick or two.
Big EMP by Fiery, followed by a bomb. Nothing seems to be able to stop it. However, it is above and no one is able to get it. Antumbra does pull out. Fiery goes down. D'Artagnan goes down. Kintaku does go down, so this might be saved for Antumbra. However, Tofu of Hell also goes down. You see his Arch Emblem goes down. This does seem to be another hold by Antumbra, which started off as a +2 for Junkertown Jules. Now they do seem to be hacking Brobat. He is going to get a huge stagger.
Yeah, and he's going the wrong way towards the cliff. He's just staggering himself more.
Especially by getting hacked again. He does get staggered, which is good. I don't know if Junkertown Jules is going to be able to touch. They have 10 seconds left.
Fiery is behind the point, ready to touch if needed.
However, big EMP. However, Koala does get taken down.
And Tentaku is able to touch Fiery.
Fiery does touch, however, he is immediately doped, gets sucked into the grab. And there just doesn't seem to be anyone there. Boosted Trash does go down. Input name is going down. They are using Valve, so that chain healing can be enough sustain to help them. However, this Zenyatta right here is just getting brawled upon.
And that was very good on Antumbra to recognize that the Zen almost has trance or has trance, so you need to force that out before you can clean up this fight.
And that is a full hold by Antumbra. Ignore the words on the screen.
And the three. They had dive tanks, but it was always Input going by himself, or Brobat going by himself, or Tentaku going in by himself. It was never a coordinated dive, it looked like, especially when you take 2 out of the game immediately. That should have been an instant win, but there was no focus during that fight. Everybody was on different people were low, but nobody was actually attacking the same target together, so that's what caused that chain reaction of them losing that fight.
This is a very different Junkertown Jules than what we saw yesterday. As we are going to swap them and go to Elios.
Okay, so it looks like Junkertown Jules are bringing in a sub, so we'll probably need another spectator slot for our fearless lobby leader, Pingu. All hail Pingu.
I think we should be good if their sub leaves and then the new person fills in their spot.
That too.
I will be right back though, so Wiggles, this is all you for the next about 2 minutes.
So really Koala's not in the Ants group. Really what seems to be scaring me a lot here is that, and Pingu, you're more than welcome to hop in here, but Junkertown just looks kind of off, and all of their engagements, all of their dives have been just missing something. I don't know if that's their in-game leader not yelling at them enough, or if it's just that everybody's kind of on a different page, but they're playing very split and they're not playing coordinated. And if Junkertown was to just fix that one issue, I think we would have a much closer game. But right now, it seems that Antumbra has Junkertown's number, and this might be match point. Jokes, you're a joke. So I'm very worried about where this is going to go for Junkertown, because now we're in the do or die moments for Junkertown. They have to win Ilios, and Ilios is one of those.
It's okay, I'm back.
I was just saying, Ilios is one of the few maps in our map pool that you can't really get away with Rhine or with goats. But at the same time, we did already see Antumbra bring out that Orisa Diva comp, so they've already proven that they're comfortable on it. So I'm very curious to see how this one will go out, because Ilios is one of those maps where anything can happen. You have a bunch of environmental chances. You have, if you don't rotate properly, there's so many factors that go into winning Ilios that I think Junkertown can take this one. I was just saying they really need to fix their issue, their lingering issue of what's going wrong with their dives.
We do have Scoot coming in now, and they are their little moped, and it does seem to be, as what they were saying yesterday, to carry the elephants, or to drive them around.
Well then, I don't know if that is enough to carry an elephant, but I'll buy it for $1. And we do see Scoot coming in, and I know that Scoot is their main tank specialist, so maybe that was the missing link, was having their main tank in, because I do believe that input is kind of their flex. Yeah, so they were missing their main tank, so hopefully with their main tank in now, their dives will start to look more comfortable. Their Rhine Zarya gameplay might look a little more comfortable. So now that we have the people in here, we are ready whenever.
We are ready when Pengu gets back, which is unknown at the moment, so let's see if there's anything in chat that wants to help us. We do have Scoot can carry 20 elephants, or at least 20 elephants. We do see Scoot in chat saying they are going to do the reverse sweep. Okay, both teams do seem to be ready. We are now entering,
and we are on
now
our
arriving at Ilios.
So we have Ilios, I believe our only King of the Hill map in this series, and we will start out on Lighthouse.
And we do have the spam this creep for reverse sweep coming in from the chat, so here's hoping that Junkertown Jewel, with the addition of Scoot, can get this dive composition that they've been running to work. Because they have most fights that they've gone into, they've had the advantage, but Pengu, you're also requested to update the scores. Bant with the Banthammer said if you don't do it, she will ban you. But we do have the triple TPS coming out from Junkertown Jewels.
5, 4, 3.
And
Antumbra is switching to
goats,
Round one.
just that
Capture
standard
the
Rhine Sombra goats, which I think will force Scoot to switch to the Winston very quickly, because as you can see right now, he's getting set up to be hacked by D'Artagnan, so I think
those. Oh, he is off the map by a big move by Saint. So their only tank is down. However, Junkertown Jewels does have the high ground, so it is a little bit difficult for Antumbra to get them. However, they are just going to cap point and seems to just protect them.
it does. This is the issue with this triple DPS composition that you have here. It's hard to push in and take that space, especially when you have that Rhine shield and Zarya bubble denying damage. So you will see Scoot come in, try to knock everyone back.
D'Artagnan does take out Tofu Hell on Tracer. You do see a lot of value on this Sombra coming through as EMP is almost online, as well as Graviton Surge. However, on the side of Junkertown Jules, we do have Valk coming online. We do have Pulse Bomb. But it does seem to be a little reset from Junkertown Jules, as it is hard for them with this triple DPS to put pressure on Antumbra.
Well, and you'll see that normally what you want to do for this triple DPS composition is you want to have your Sombra and your Tracer playing together to hack and immediately delete the backline. That just hasn't really been happening.
That was a big EMP by D'Artagnan, and we do see some trades coming in. However, the Graviton Surge does come out, as well as Valkyrie, to try to save those in it. However, it is not enough.
And Scoop going on a magical ride. Not quite sure how he ended up over there.
I did see him get booped, and I saw that grapple, but I don't know if there was anything he could do besides just release it and reset.
This is the point where you have to ask yourself, are mines better than playing Winston here? Because you might think, but you've been the first guy almost every fight.
Correct, but we do have a ton of bolts coming. Oh, slam onto 1 hour. Reinhardt does get hacked. Transcendence is coming in to try to help, but Antumbra does seem to
take out
having pressure.
Too little, too late. It looks like
we do have some trades coming out. However, Antumbra does seem to be holding. Pulse Bomb does come out, takes 2 out. Big play. However, Tofu of Hell cannot get enough.
And Ninder actually built 2 trances in that fight, if I saw that correctly. I do believe he tranced at the beginning of that fight, and then did it again. But I think the big takeaway from there is Junkertown Jules just did not look to be... They didn't look like they were respecting the Lucio that entire engagement, because every fight he got an environmental boop. And I don't know if it was, even right now in that last play we saw him boop 2, so it didn't appear that Junkertown Jules were really acknowledging the fact that environmental kills are a thing, and they definitely should not be on this Hammond still, especially with the Brig and the Sombra. You really need to be running that monkey so that
there is a lot of hack potential. However, Robot does quickly take out Saint with a headshot.
And every time I see that with a sonar arrow, I have to ask myself if it was intentional or if it was an accident.
I think one of those hidden truths of sonar arrow is if you shoot it, you're just guaranteed a headshot, but you'll miss all your other shots. We do see a lot of trades in the kill feed, and Junkertown does take the point, which is very beneficial for them, because against the Brawl comp Antumbra was running, it was extremely hard for them to put pressure, but now they don't have to, they can play more around the point rather than on. There are a ton of changes coming out from Antumbra. We have Boosted Trash on the Winston, Koala on the Diva, Saint coming out on Hanzo.
Right, and I think this is to respect the fact that you can't get on the point until you clear off everything, and as a Rhine, you just don't have the mobility to do that.
However, there were a ton of changes, as D'Artagnan is the only one that has some ult potential right now. However, he does get hacked, and he does get saved.
The 1v1 versus D'Artagnan or Fiery though. Here comes High Noon, immediately shut down by Saint though. Saint said it's not High Noon yet.
Now here we have Junkertown Jules just trying to stall the point. They do need to be very careful with this Sombra because both Sombras are being very sneaky, going around and getting high value on their hacks.
It does scare me now that they are playing, Antumbra's playing this grouped up when they have the EMP.
However, Saint does take out input name, but the Arch Emblem does get the res off.
Here
That
comes
was
the EMP.
both teams have
Oh.
big EMPs. However, which team can get more value out of it as more people on
Here,
Antumbra
Junkertown.
were hacked.
Junkertown traded theirs. Oh, that is a
However,
high
that's a
value
huge
purple.
anti.
And I think that's going to win the fight right there, is that purple. Because losing Scoot early doesn't really matter, because since he's on that Hammond, he can get back quicker. And he did trade for 2. But that EMP
Robrat
purple,
very close from going down. It was about 1 HP.
and this is the starting to get to the do or die moment for.
Qual does go down. Wilson does go down. How we see
Mender goes
coming
down.
in with the Hammond, Mender coming down. Junkertown Jules has a 3 advantage on this point. Tofu Pebble takes out Saint. Now this just seems to be cleanup right now. However, spawns are coming back.
You really don't want to see boosted pop his primal there, because instead of feeding 600 ult charge, he fed 1,000. So you really wanted to see him hold on to that for the next fight.
Well, it was really 600 plus his new 1,000.
Yeah. So I think that was a breakdown in communication, one of the very few that we have seen on the Antumbra side so far.
Tofu of Hell does take out Sangs. Rogat does get Wolfson with his dragon. This does look like
Scoot's
Scoot
going on
does
another
take down
magical
Boosted
ride.
Trash. Koala gets hit off.
Alright, and this is
last fight for
I don't know if Junker or Antumbra can touch. Antumbra might not even be able to touch.
They'll try very. I feel Lucio might be able to touch. Lucio is coming in. They do.
Oh, D'Artagnan
who touched?
touches at the last moment.
However, EMP does come out.
Now,
D'Artagnan does go down by Tofu of Hell. Beat does come out, however, Wolfson did hit a bunch of mines, instantly taking out his shields. Bomb is being come out, boosted. We have a 3+ advantage. Now this does seem to be Antumbra's map. I don't think anyone is left. Scoot does touch, that will trigger the overtime, however, instantly gets hacked and deleted. Tofu Hell comes out as Tracer. Dragon's coming to point, however, it was a little bit high. Input main does take out Mender, however, Antumbra is just keeping the pressure up. Big EMP, however, it is not enough. Scoot does come back again. However, Antumbra does take it back, and this will be the end of our series. Antumbra with the 3-0.
So I called it earlier today.
You did?
I said it was going to be 3-0. I couldn't tell you which way because both of these teams have shown a very high skill level. Again, I think Junkertown Duel's missing Scoot and just kind of looking off today. Nothing was really clicking for them, and they had individual plays, yes, but I don't think their team play was where it was at yesterday, and that kind of led to them just getting 3-0'd.
I do think on the side of Junkertown Jules, they were more. They did seem to be more on the side of trying to break up goats. However, I don't know if they have dealt with a Sombra on the other team, as it just felt a little disorganized compared to what I was seeing yesterday with Junkertown. because Scoot on coming out on the him and just getting hacked by the Sombra immediately stops all of his mobility, his adaptive shields, and can really shut him down. So if you were to pick an MVP, who would it be?
I'm sorry.
So we do have Wiggles with having a little bit of technical difficulties.
No, so I'm here now. Sorry, there was
okay,
an accident
okay.
literally right outside my. I had to go make sure everything was fine. I would have to give the EMP to or the MVP to D'Artagnan just because always he knew who to hack, he knew when to hack, he knew where to position in order to assist his team. And I mean, his EMPs were just massive fight-changing EMPs. I mean, it's tough because part of me wants to give it to D'Artagnan because he was just always in the right place, hacking the right people. But on the other side of that, Fiery was right there neck and neck with him, just always hacking too. Fiery, I think, was the kill leader on the Junkertown duels for most of the game because he would just always hack and finish those kills. So yeah. I do see Dart wants my fiance for MVP, apparently, for the silent P joke.
Yeah, we did see a ton of hacks on both sides. I do think I'm going to have to pick Arch Emblem, though, on the Mercy. I just felt they had tons of mobility. Despite everything that was going on with hacks, people getting dived, they were just able to get out of all of it and getting reses off mid-fight, where I feel Antumbra just wasn't focusing on them.
I would agree with that. There were a couple times where I saw Arch Emblem on that Mercy and I was like, they're dead. Write them off. And somehow they just got out. And so.
So shall we try to get D'Artagnan in here for an interview?
Yeah, I'm fine with getting D'Artagnan in here.
How do...
I will be right back. I need to go make sure this guy's not dead.
Oh, okay, I will handle this. How do we get Pengu, how do we get D'Artagnan in here?
Mic on.
Oh, we can actually go to casting lobby, and they should be able to go to that voice channel.
Okay. Now, how do I do this? Oh, there we go.
Good news.
Hello.
There we have D'Artagnan. We have you as MVP for Antumbra.
Yay!
First off, I have to ask, how does it feel to be MVP and Koala isn't?
Oh, being MVP, it feels better because, Koala's a bot. So,
we did temporarily see that easy Torbot come in. Was that something you guys wanted to keep?
Oh, yeah, that was actually, it would have worked really well with our strategy. We were really hoping to keep that easy Torbot, but, we got Koala instead.
So speaking of strategies, I noticed you guys were really relying on the Sombra today. That's something new that you guys have recently brought in. What spawned this Sombra change for you guys, and how are you adapting to it? Because it looked almost flawless.
So basically, I think I said it first. I don't remember, but it was I watched Overwatch League, and then all the people were playing like Sombra goats. And we thought it would be really good. So yeah, I mean, we just kind of worked on it. At first, it was like not good because I was literally getting wrecked on it. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of how it started. Yeah.
Now, we did see Temple of Anubis. You guys were going in with a Winston Zarya against a Pharmacy. Were your guys' plan just to try to get the hack off? Because it did seem that they were going to be able to hold until that hack to quickly take down the Pharah.
Yeah, what happened was, I ran through, saw the Pharah, ran all the way forward, and then someone called land a hack on the Pharah, and then so I just ran back through and hacked. They didn't even notice because they were so focused on everyone else. So yeah, that's kind of it wasn't my first thought, but it actually worked in the end. So yeah, sorry.
I think the next. Okay.
Yep, you're a little bit bad
Hold on.
quality, but
Is that better?
That's much
Yeah.
better.
Okay. So I think my next question would Dart. If you had to choose anyone from the Junkertown Jewels for MVP, who would you choose and why?
Oh, it would be
You
Fiery.
just spent Fiery.
Yeah.
I think that's the common.
It was actually so much fun because I don't know if you guys saw, but at the end, I was actually camping the translocator, and I was like, guys, try and get him to translocate, and they went, and their freaking Sombra wouldn't translocate, so I was sitting there, and I'm like, wait, I just bought it out while my team died, so,
Good to know.
but it was super fun playing Sombra against Fiery. So yeah, that would definitely be my MVP on Junkertown.
And you guys play. I'm gonna double check it just to make sure.
I think it's Moose.
Moose on March 9th at 5 p.m.
Ooh, fancy.
So you guys have all week to prepare for Moose. Kind of, what are your strategies and what are your training? To ramp up for this Moose. Are you guys just gonna scrim a lot, or are you gonna look at specific comps?
I mean, definitely look at like other comps, but because I mean, when we were coming in here, when we were figuring out comps, we weren't exactly like the most prepared. We had a couple like at the like right before the game started, we like knew a couple that we were gonna run because we knew Junkertown was gonna run a Sombra the whole time, or almost the whole time. And then yeah, we're probably gonna like 6-stack in competitive and then scrim like 1 or 2 times because our availability is like super weird. And yeah, that's kind of, we're just gonna like hope and try and do our best and try and win because we don't want to get second place again. So yeah,
the Antumbra curse. Always.
yeah,
second.
we want first place.
I mean, I have to say, good job. I was taken back by how well oiled Antumbra looked today.
Thank you.
You guys were playing great. I don't think there were any like atrocious feeding. Like I've watched some of your scrims, so I've seen some atrocious feeding, and there was none of that here. So
Yeah,
I was actually impressed at how well you guys pulled together, given that you are kind of a new team still.
yeah. I mean, we what?
Rather
Relatively.
old team, new players.
Yeah, old team, new roster, basically. We're basically like, yeah. I mean, it feels good. I think it's one of those things. It was kind of like the last time Antumbra kind of like switched their roster a good amount, where it was like you were there, but our scrims looked like pretty not very good, and then they started like. And then during tournament, we just kind of like, I don't know, something flipped. And so it's working now.
It is working, and it looked very good today. So I'm very interested to see you guys play the Mooses.
Moose.
on the
Moose.
5th. The moose.
I heard from
Mises?
some people. Yeah, is it meese?
Meese? What's a pack of moose called? Anyways,
Multiple
Dart,
mooses. I don't know.
we will give you time to say one thing before we kick you out of here and bring Fiery in.
I now have
Whatever you want to
more.
say.
Okay, so I have two quick things. I have two MVPs. By the way, Koala. And yeah, that's kind of it. I got two
So
MVPs. Koala has.
I'm just gonna make.
Oh, there goes you're cutting out again a little bit.
I'm flexing on Koala.
You're taking your time to say whatever you want to your fan.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, good games, and I mean, again, Antumbra looked very well polished today. So,
Thank you.
you guys enjoy your week. Get ready because next week I don't think the Meese will be playing
Meese?
around.
All right.
According to Twitch chat, that's how you say it. It's the Meese. So,
All right, the Meese.
good job. I think we are gonna try to get Fiery in here next. Correct.
If we can.
We're gonna easy clap the Meese. Okay, bye.
Oh, well then.
Okay.
So I don't know if Fiery is available.
I do see them online. But. Oh. What?
Dart is trash.
Um,
Dart is trash. Dart
um,
sucks.
can
Get
we
carried.
deal with
I
this?
deserved
Security?
MVP.
Security,
Hello?
please.
I deserved MVP.
Security, thank you.
You. Okay, so Fiery,
Hello.
I apologize for that.
No problem.
We are a professional organization here.
We have tried very hard to keep it available to all viewers.
So you got the Junkertown Jewels MVP because you were just popping off on Sombra. Every fight you were just hacking the right person or killing the right person, and it was great to watch.
Thank you.
So I guess the question I have is, did Scoot not being there at the beginning, did that kind of throw you guys off? Because I did notice that throughout the entire series, it kind of looked like you guys were just one step off from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's just a practicing thing or if it's because you didn't have Scoot in.
I would say, yeah, Scoot was a little bit of a factor. Unfortunately, he couldn't get here until later. And when Scoot and I play together, like, we have good synergy, especially when he's on that wrecking ball. We can both kind of dive in the back. I can get hacks off, and then he can kind of follow up on them. So I do think we have better synergy like that. Yeah, I do think there was something off with the team initially, but I think that might be due to some of us flexing on roles we don't normally play. And that's just something that we'll continue to get better at as we practice more.
You guys looked scary. I mean, there were moments where I was like, they could take this, and then somehow, some way, Antumbra just magically pooped out a W, and I was like, I don't know how, but
Yep.
So I think the biggest question that I have following up to that is, I know that Antumbra and Junkertown are friendly rivals, we'll call it.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, did you guys come into this game with a bigger sense of urgency because of your history with Antumbra, or were you guys just like, it's just another game?
Well, I think Antumbra is a very strong team personally, so we definitely wanted to be prepared and put up our best fight against them, because we knew that they were going to be a strong opponent. So for sure we had that kind of expectation going.
And I mean, were you guys, I also noticed that you guys were very, very hesitant to run goats. Is that just a Junkertown Jewels thing, or because I know originally you guys had said back when I was still playing back in the glory days that it was we only pull out our goats for real challenges. So
Yeah. Yeah, we were a little hesitant to run goats again because of our lineup. We didn't have some of our main tank players, so that kind of put us at a disadvantage to run pure goats. So I would say that was part of the reason, and part of it is we want to play to our strengths. So some of our players do better on a DPS, for example, rather than one of the typical goats, tanks, or healers. So we wanted to play more to our strengths and not just go goats all the time, which can get boring at times.
I understand you there. Nothing upsets me more than loading into a game and they're just like, what are we running? Goats. What else? I mean, overall, your positioning was just great. You were always behind. You were always hacking people. Like, have you put in many hours on Sombra, or was it just like a hey, go play this character and good luck?
No, I put over 100 hours on Sombra. I played her. I started playing her even before she was considered good. Back when she had, translocator that was on a timer, for example. So I've been playing with her for a long time. Have a lot of time on her. It's just the Junkertown Jewels hadn't started playing with her in our lineup until recently. So we saw a lot of Overwatch League use the Sombra in their lineup, and we're like, hey, we could try that. And since I had that experience already, they wanted to try me on that role, and it seemed to mesh really well with our team.
It did mesh very well. You guys showed a lot of potential there. I think just a little refinement, and you guys will be able to sweep the floor with Antumbra in the future.
I am getting message from Pengu to let's start to wrap this up because apparently we're not as good as him casting, so our voices get tired to people.
We can't go on for hours on end.
Unfortunately, no.
We do have to wrap this up. So I will say you are the MVP for Junkertown Jewels. Is there anyone you want to thank? Do you want to talk to your fans? Do you want to make fun of Pengu? It's up to you. The floor is yours.
No, just thanks for having me. I'm excited to continue playing. I know we're still in the tournament, so we'll be playing later tonight. I'm excited to do that, and we'll just keep on going.
I think I may be casting that one, so I look forward to watching your Sombra again because it was a pleasure to watch.
Great, thank you.
All right, have a good night.
Thanks for joining.
All right.
Now that does seem to be round 2 of the Season 4 Watchpoint Alpha Tournament. We will be back later at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for Defiance Inferno vs. Junkertown Jewels. And then we will move on to, at 9 o'clock as well, Tempered Rejects, 9 p.m. EST, against whoever is the winner of that.
And I look forward to seeing all of them because, like I said, Junkertown looked good. They just had to get on the same page, and I think they can do it all. So I look forward to seeing this next.
I agree. Thanks everyone for joining. We will see you again in a little bit over an hour.